This is a rifle-only stage. 2 makeshift barriers are set up with 6 ports each. Set up so that the shooter is intended to make hits from standing, kneeling, and prone. The shooter is to hit a single IPSC torso at 100 yards from each port of the 2 barriers. Unlimited round count. 12 hits for full score, and any further hits are considered bonus points. The shooter must move between ports for each hit. Part time is 60 seconds. So all things considered, the shooter is given 5 seconds per hit to achieve a full score with movement. There were no failure to engage or failure to neutralize penalties handed out at this stage, at least not in my squad. The stage was set up ad hoc by the match director since it was so rainy that day. They did not want to set up any paper targets. The stage was originally intended to be a pistol and rifle stage, but due to the weather, they had to do this instead. As I was called to shoot the stage, I removed my chamber flag and noticed that the tip of it was not attached to the flag anymore. I was reusing a flag from an RIA 22 rifle. Either due to letting the bolt slam forward on the flag, the residual heat left in the chamber from the previous stage, or a combination of both, the 22 LR-shaped tip of the flag broke off in the chamber and had worked its way into the barrel. I had to let someone skip ahead of me while I attempted to remediate the failure. This involved removing the upper receiver and repeatedly banging it on the table to attempt to dislodge the broken piece of plastic. This did not work even though I used a fair amount of force. Someone, thankfully, was able to bring me their cleaning rod so that I could get the plastic bit out. Thanks to whoever did that. I married the upper and lower receiver back together, loaded and made ready, then prepared to shoot the stage. This added stress and frustration to this stage, so I was again operating with diminished mental clarity. This is inherent to competitions, and especially a very fast par-time stage like this. I was quite excited to shoot the stage as I am way more confident with my rifle work than my pistol work. I was pretty sure I could get a full score on this stage with perhaps 2 or 3 bonus hits. So after the chamber flag goofiness, I was not only frustrated and stressed, but I was also quite excited. This stage for me is quite fast, and a lot happens in just the next few seconds. So I'm going to explain what this stage looks like, and then let the full 60-second stage play out. The timer goes off, and I attempt to engage the target standing while slightly crouched and unbraced. I miss, of course. I also noticed immediately that my barrel is not through the port. I worry that any hits as such will not be counted. I also worry about shooting through the barrier, which would either be a procedural penalty or a safety disqualification. So I immediately move to brace against the barrier to mitigate those 2 risks. I then miss the next 3 shots. I worry about my optic having lost 0 due to the quite rough banging on the concrete table that I did a couple minutes ago. I'm running a Walmart True Glow $35 green dot. However, it turns out that I was just moving too fast and again attempting accuracy by volume. Apparently, that doesn't work for me. I slow down, carefully place my 5th shot, and immediately get a hit. I then begin moving to the other ports and getting first round hits on every single one. Again, I am immediately sure of my hits and begin moving before the hit is even called. This will probably burn me one day. I move to the other barrier. I had planned to shoot from a low, unbraced kneel, as I was confident in scoring hits that way, and didn't want to waste my time going prone and trying to move while prone. This would have worked out well. I get 1 hit on the lower level of the left-hand barrier, move to the other low port, and once on target, pull the trigger, which doesn't move. I immediately think that the hammer has rode the bolt forward, so I charge the rifle. Dead trigger again. I begin more thorough remedial actions. I drop the mag, cycle the bolt, and check that the safety is on fire. It is on fire, but it will not move. I cycle the bolt a few more times and try the trigger on a known empty chamber while still pointed downrange. I still have a dead trigger and still cannot manipulate the safety. I then notice that the trigger pin has walked out. I attempt for a few seconds to push it back in before I notice that it is misaligned. I further attempt to apply pressure to the side of the trigger to get it lined up with the hole on the receiver so that I can push the pin back in. This doesn't work. I briefly consider opening up the upper receiver and pushing down on the fire control group to get the pin back in. But I think to myself that I have maybe 15 seconds left on the clock, and such level of manipulation might have run into safety concerns. I then deem it too risky and too time-consuming to perform. So I indicate to the stage director that I'm done, malfunctioned out. He confirms with me that I am done. I confirm back to him. I then present the empty chamber to him to verify save. The timer then beeps to indicate that my 60 seconds are up. Remedial action took 18 seconds from the dead trigger to me calling a malfunction. The timer then beeps 10 seconds after that point. So I had made 7 of 12 hits in 32 seconds, counting those 4 misses. I believe I could have made the last 5 hits in the 28 remaining seconds, with possibly 1 bonus hits. If I had not missed those first 4 shots and my rifle had not malfunctioned, I think I could have made those 2 or 3 extra bonus hits. I placed 32nd overall on this stage with 7 hits and no penalties or bonus hits. Oh yeah.
Actually has AOW and those stuff. They made it 7, 9, and I think 20. Yeah, completely fucked the NFA, and now the ATF is rolling back that decision, and it's legal, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, essentially, Franklin Arms figured out a way around the NFA.
I got a malfunction. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we had a call. All right.